Richard Gisbert, and you're at the Listening Post. This week, our media predictions for 2007. The American news media finally grows some backbone.
Incompetent, a liar, the emperor with no clothes.
Conspiracy theorists go to Hollywood.
How did these buildings get rigged with bombs so they could just demolish them?
And February's Media Man of the Month. Here at the Listening Post, Al Jazeera's eyes and ears on the media world, we've been looking at what might happen in 2007. Some of our predictions may surprise you, others may disappoint you, and of course, as with all prognostications, some, we hope not too many, may not come true. We also predict that you will let us know how we do. So here we go, the Listening Post predictions for 2007. With the swearing in of a new Democrat-dominated Congress this week, the U.S. media will begin to get its voice back.
She mentions things like raising minimum wage, cutting interest rates on student loans, broadening stem cell research, and rolling back tax cuts.
There will be moves to reform media legislation. Newspapers and TV will learn to disobey the White House, and consumers will demand that their media report world events again. Rory O'Connor now with his predictions for a journalistic renaissance in the U.S. Well, it's the start of a new year. We're allowed to be optimistic.
What changes and trends can we expect from the U.S. media in the coming year? Well, first off, it's clear that the tide is turning at long last in relations between the formerly complacent and complicit American media and the ever more troubled Bush administration. With blood already in the water and lots more undoubtedly to come, the media sharks have already begun circling the ever more vulnerable Bush administration. And we can expect this trend to continue and to exaggerate itself as the year progresses. We can look also for the earlier rounds of the 2008 presidential campaign to begin in the media early in 2007. The media loves the new, of course. So first we can expect a rash of optimistic and positive articles and reports about the new dark horse contender, Barack Obama. These will be followed inevitably by a rash of negative reports tearing down the newfound candidacy of Barack Obama, and finally the third act of his redemption and rediscovery by that very same media. And we can expect that the media will call on Hillary to prove her manliness, at the same time expecting Barack Obama to prove how black he is to the black population, while assuring the white population at the same time that he's one of them and not one of them. Other sure bets in the coming media year include ever more convergence between the World Wide Web and the broadcast world. Expect a greater reliance on citizen journalism, more interest in 2.0 social news networks like newstrust.net, and ever more acceptance of user-generated content.
Our Global Village voices have their say now on what they hope for in terms of U.S. journalism in 2007, especially as it affects reporting from the Middle East.
Here's how much the U.S. media's view of the Middle East will change in 2007. Nada. Zip, zilch, not at all. They're going to continue to have the same exact view, which is Israel is a wonderful ally. Why do all these Arabs hate us? We just can't figure it out. They'll not realize that the main problem in the Middle East for a long time has been the Israeli-Palestinian issue. And eventually they'll even grow tired of the Middle East.
Before our very eyes, global powers have colluded to create a strip of land more isolated than North Korea, sentencing Gaza's residents to a living death in the world's largest internment camp. And it has happened largely to the acquiescence of the Western media. I hope to see the media take a more critical look at this issue in 2007, questioning even the most commonplace of assumptions, asking the questions that few dare to ask, and widening a debate that for too long has been stifled.
And if you'd like to be one of our Global Village voices sometime this year and you have access to a webcam, a digital camera, or a camera phone, just email us at listeningpost@aljazeera.net. We'll walk you through the technology and add your voice to the mix. Okay, here's another Listening Post prediction. In the year 2007, somewhere in the world, revolution will be fomented by SMS text messaging. Around the world, this relatively low-tech means of communication is proving difficult for dictatorships to deal with. Salah Khadar reports now on how from Nepal to North Korea, mobile phone technology is being used as a tool for dissent.
Television played a major role in the fall of the Berlin Wall. The fax machine was instrumental in organizing protesters at Tiananmen Square. The latest tool for political and social change is not the internet, but mobile phone text messaging.
It surely is a good way of disseminating information, compact information, getting people to connect with one another so that they know who's doing what where, mobilizing people.
SMS people power has been responsible for helping to topple a government in the Philippines, for terrorizing beauty queens in Nigeria, bringing a murderer to justice in India, and a woman to power in Kuwait. So-called smart mobs are mobilizing people on a mass scale, armed only with mobile phones.
For the SMS, all I require is a mobile phone. It doesn't require as much technical skill or technical knowledge as, say, using the computer or the internet would be, and it's inexpensive.
In Kenya, the ruling party, KANU, was finally knocked from power after 40 years.
I accept the choice of the people.
They were defeated when the opposition launched a full-scale texting campaign at the last elections.
Now, the messages that we sent out to the voters was principally aimed at informing them, educating them on the agendas of the political opposition, and also significantly mobilizing them to come out and vote.
Public mistrust of mainstream media and the novelty of SMS worked in the opposition party's favor.
People were excited by this little gadget that could fit into their pocket, and this little personalized message that was allegedly signed by a big or significant political opposition.
The opposition used humorous messages that lodged in voters' minds.
The ruling party then, KANU, had a symbol of a cockerel or a rooster. And what we will do is to pass out these text messages to people's mobile phones and tell them on the day of the election, go and slaughter the rooster and enjoy the meal. And so that got people excited that, oh, we need to slaughter the rooster. And so that became a political soundbite.
And SMS was fundamental in bringing an end to vote rigging.
The government used to steal elections left, right, and center. Now, when the mobile telephones came, it made a whole lot of difference because people were at the polling stations and people would be calling whether you are in Mombasa or in Nakuru or wherever it is and saying, you know, this candidate got so many votes. Without the mobile telephone, I think we'd be talking about a different story today in terms of the political changes that have taken place in Africa.
Otiemo predicts that new technology will completely replace old media in this year's elections.
I tell you, it is exciting. Government, the political opposition, everybody is opening up a website. Everybody is getting on their mobile phones, trying to get every voter to get a mobile phone. And so SMS and internet, to some extent, is going to be the battleground for political supremacy amongst the political actors in this country.
In Nepal, when SMS organized rallies threatened to topple King Gyanendra, he shut down the mobile phone network. But the move backfired as he was effectively shutting down the Nepalese economy.
Because you're using a technology which is too central to the economy and to politics and to society.
And after weeks of protests, the king was forced to hand power back to parliament. In North Korea, mobile phones are banned, making it possibly the last frontier for text messaging. But since 2003, around 22,000 Chinese mobiles have reportedly been smuggled into the country. The North Koreans connect through transmitters over the Chinese border, which provide them with a link to the outside world, and more importantly, a means of getting politically organized from within. Could 2007 see a North Korean revolution, SMS style?
We're back after the break with a prediction that will please conspiracy theorists, but they probably won't believe it.